Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here with a weekly Wednesday tutorial. Today, I'm going to share with you a couple techniques on how to use painter's tape in order to create some backgrounds for your cards. So I have some berry burst and I have a basic white card. So you would just choose whatever card and whatever color you would want, and then some painter's tape. You can use it at 1-inch strip, or you can cut it and make it whatever size you want. So let me share with you the card that I actually created using this technique. So I cut mine. I didn't have the entire 1-inch strip, so I cut it smaller because I wanted to use a 3 by 4 inch panel instead of an entire panel that went across the card. So if you were having a bigger panel like this, I might use some 1 inches and some smaller. And then simply all you do, and let me set that aside so I don't get it all messed up. And so you just take your ink, and it can be a little messy. You just have to be careful. And then you just put your painter's tape right in your ink. And you want to make sure that it's not too sticky. So what I did was I took, put it up and down on my table just to get it a little less sticky. And then you just stick it straight down on your card wherever you want it to go, and then just kind of rub it. You don't want to rub it too hard because you don't want your painter's tape to tear your cardstock when you pull it up. But then you just simply pull it to the side, and that gives you a strip that you can then create with your card however you want. So again, I varied my I got ink on me already. I varied my sizes for my strips, and so you can see that some of them are wider and some of them are not. I used Pool Party, Poppy Parade, and Old Olive, and I just did those strips along the white cardstock, just like that. And then I stamped and cut the paintbrush, added a little paint, that stamp that gives you the little paint at the end, and that is in Pool Party. And then I stamped the thank you from that set in Memento black ink and fussy cut it out, mounted that on the Pool Party, and the 3 by 4 is mounted on a piece of basic black. Now all the supplies, all the measurements and pictorials are on my blog in a free project download, and so you can hop on over there and download that. You can add a piece of white to the inside if you want. I'm probably not going to on this one because it's a lighter color Pool Party card base. So the second technique using the painter's tape is just putting them all down first on your piece of white. So if I were doing that, I would just take my piece of white, and then I would just simply add, without adding any ink, just plain strips of painter's tape, and everywhere where you see the white is where I had the painter's tape. And because I was going for a different kind of design, I used real thin and medium and thicker. I just cut my painter's tape, and then I just added them on there. Once I had all my painter's tape down, I took a blending brush and some Petunia Pop ink to match my Petunia Pop card base, and I just put that blending brush with the ink all over the painter's tape. After I did that, I carefully removed my painter's tape to reveal the white strips that are behind to create a really fun and unique background. And then again, I stamped those 2 paintbrushes. I added the Petunia Pop at the bottom with that one stamp that is in the set. I stamped the happy birthday from the right words, and I just mounted it on that card front. I did put a little piece of black just to make it all pop, and that is the second technique and our second card. So those are my two techniques, just using ink and the strips of painter's tape to make it look like you've got strips of paint, and then creating a unique background. So thanks so much for watching. That's all I have for my weekly Wednesday. Join me next week for another Make It Monday tutorial. And until then, be blessed.